y'all communicate?
I've texted with him recently.
Okay, what'd you say?
Yeah, I was just looking. I've been looking for him.
Oh, you have been?
Yeah, absolutely.
Being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, you know, bullshit sometimes, and, you know, that's the only thing that I hate about it.
All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. Any of them, all lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
No matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on...
Say what now? Not Terrence Howard clicking up with Taraji P. Henson and Katt Williams to expose Will Smith and Diddy for turning Bryshere Gray out. If you haven't seen any of Bryshere's videos on Twitter, you better thank your stars because, baby, it bumped into them the other day and I've still not recovered. Bryshere went from being one of the most promising actors in Hollywood to now being a whole corn star. And this didn't happen by accident. It's been rumored that it was planned out right from when he was handed to Will and Diddy for mentorship, back when he was just 17. And you know what's worse? His mother, Andrea, allegedly knew about it because she was the one who sold him off to them. Apparently, this was why Taraji and Terrence couldn't save him. They couldn't run to his mother to tell her what was being done to her son because she was allegedly collecting checks for it.
Say, Andy, I'm talking about Bryshere's mom. I'ma kick you in your and I'm gonna go to work North Philly style. F you and Charlie. You happy now? He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell. I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life and what you had to do with it. F you. You CI bitch. I'm sorry.
Okay, so for those of y'all who are somehow out of the loop about what happened to Bryshere Gray, it all goes back to that shady and, frankly speaking, very unnecessary mentorship that his mama and his then manager Charlie Mack set up for him with Diddy and Will. At the time, Bryshere was just beginning to blow up in Hollywood for his role as Hakeem in Empire, alongside Taraji P. Henson and Terrence, so this mentorship meant a lot to him. But as I already said, this was allegedly just a trick to get him into their bed. There was never any mentorship. It was just straight freak-offs and countless hard substances till they broke his spirit. The crazy thing is that even before Bryshere, Diddy had already been accused of doing this to other men in the industry, like Usher, Justin Bieber, and even YK Osiris. So this alone should have been enough for the trusted adults around him to keep him as far away from Diddy and Will as possible. But since they were all in on it, no one really did anything. In fact, right when this was happening, Diddy was being investigated for having inappropriate relationships with underage boys. The red flags weren't just there. They were waving in everyone's faces. And get this, according to Jaguar Wright, Will Smith didn't just violate Bryshere, he allegedly also did this to his own son, Jaden. And that's actually why Jaden ended up leaving his house before he even turned 16. Jaden was tired of being played with by his daddy, y'all.
Bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bryshere Gray left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Doing things to boys and did stuff to your son, and you ain't do shit about it. Bilal told me everything.
Their good friend who
Bilal told me. Jada. He told me that you knew Will was f***ing your child. Yes, he did. Wonder why he left that out of his Tasha K interview.
Yeah, in that interview, he said a lot. He said a lot.
He said everything but the thing that was important. that he know that Will Smith, Jaden, he Bryshere and he Neek Mills, and you know it, Bilal. Now I don't give no how far in the desert you run. You'll go from a Philly nigga to a sand, but they'll still get you.
He's Philly though, Jay. It's Philly.
You know, he Meek Milk. As far as I'm concerned, he Meek Milk. I ain't calling him Mill no more. That's milk. That's Meek Milk. Added to the honeycomb. You got a meal.
So you believe the Dwayne Martin story that could have happened?
Of course, everybody.
Now, since all this demonic mess was happening right when Bryshere was still on Empire, his co-stars Terrence Howard and Taraji P. Henson got to see the effect of everything wearing him down in real time. But as I said, there was really nothing they could do aside from offering their advice. This is usually the kind of stuff you tell the victim's parents. But what else can you really do when the parent in question is allegedly in on it? And it's not as if they could run to the police either, because they didn't have proof of it happening, but they just knew something wasn't quite right. In fact, after Bryshere fully fell off, they tried reaching out to him several times to see if they could offer any kind of help, but reaching him was a whole challenge in itself. In fact, Jussie Smollett revealed in an interview with Kandi Burruss that they have been looking for him since the show ended to get him some help. Oh, and remember that rant Taraji did against industry executives back in 2024? Well, apparently, it was also influenced by what she saw them do to Bryshere.
Do y'all communicate?
I've texted with him recently.
Okay, what'd you say?
Yeah, I've been looking for him.
Oh, you have been?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, that was my brother for 5 years, and I didn't take that lightly. I don't take brotherhood, lightly, because I'm so close to my blood brothers. So I see what my brother is going through, and I have consistently reached out to make sure that he knows that he's got a place, and reached out to family and stuff like that. But I also think that I've been through my own troubles,
Right.
and I've seen people go on and talk about me and my troubles when I would rather that they didn't. And so what I will say about him is that I love that brother, and I think that he has a beautiful heart.
I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. And I'm just supposed to smile and grin and bear it and just keep, enough is enough.
But it gets worse. Terrence actually revealed a while back that right around the same time Diddy was doing all this to Bryshere, he actually tried to get with him too, but he put him in his place very fast. He also revealed in that same interview that Bryshere got his manhood snatched away by Diddy and his people.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there, and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music, and he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right. But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So
now, even though he didn't blatantly call Bryshere out by name, it really wasn't hard for people to put 1 and 2 together, especially since when Bryshere was allegedly getting mistreated by Will and Diddy, Terrence had made similar comments like this, alluding to men in the industry being turned out by their mentors to succeed. He said things like this. He said, and I quote, "Everything is androgynous, you know? The more successful men now are the effeminate. The man has been demonized. With the new formula, most men are made to be effeminate and not have their power or sense of strength. They allow white men to be able to be strong. But when it's black men, it's seen as a threat. And just when we thought things couldn't get any worse, Will Smith's ex-bestie and personal assistant, brother Bilal, stepped into the chat too and confirmed all the allegations that Taraji and Terrence had made. He claimed that during his time as Will's assistant, Bryshere followed him and Will to Chicago for a trip. One night when Will wasn't around, he broke down after having multiple substances and admitted to Will and Diddy allegedly violating him. Bilal claims that Bryshere initially thought he was in on it even though he wasn't.
You hold them down because he was like, Charlie Mack is not going to be able to be there because him and Charlie had something else going on. I arrived in Chicago for Empire. It's a damn mess. It's no other way to put it. This dude is going crazy, right? He's out there allegedly with male prostitutes. He's pissing in the trailer. He's acting psychotic, right?
The same thing he's doing now.
Beyond that. But this is why a show is going on. I pulled him to the side. I said, listen, I'm here to help you and so forth and so on. So he was like, all right, I feel that. He said, everybody on the set know you. Everybody seem like they love you. Okay. I want to love you because everybody else love you. I said, if that's what you want to do, then do it. But he kept acting up. And then one day I said, what the F is wrong with you? And he was like, you know. He said, you know Will me. You know Diddy made me suck his. You know what's going on. You know Charlie made me suck. And I said, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. So he crying, no blood is coming from his nose. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I'm like, yo, listen.
And when it comes to Katt, he also didn't explicitly mention Bryshere, but he revealed that he also had advances made towards him by older men in the industry, similar to what Bryshere had experienced. If y'all remember, he did this wild interview with Shannon Sharpe back in 2024, and he had a lot to say. He said back when he was new in the industry, Harvey Weinstein tried to force him into a freak-off in exchange for a movie role that very instant, and warned him never to pull that move on him ever again.
They canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, there's 3 other black guys on there. Woo. Huh.
So you wonder what they did?
I told him no. What y'all do? And this is why when I walk in a room, heads go down.
Baby, people had always had their thoughts about Bryshere being used, but after the revelations that Taraji, Terrence, and Katt just made, it's definitely taken this from just being a rumor to it actually having some truth to it. But until Bryshere himself comes out to admit, we really can't just say much. In the meantime, he is on X getting it on with other people. And people have a lot to say about it, like this person who said, yes, he needed guidance. The straight men in Hollywood should be mentoring the younger actors and giving them guidance as to who to avoid in Hollywood. They have to teach them not to be so hungry for fame that they compromise their morals and integrity. It's one thing to be homosexual, but to force that on naive, straight young guys is deplorable. Be careful of those who offer drugs, alcohol, and wild parties along with their mentorship. Go to the ones who spend time explaining the business, giving pointers on acting, and then tell you to go home and stay away from certain parties and alcohol. I still get upset when I think of how Justin Bieber and Bryshere Gray have been ruined, and God knows how many other young boys and girls. Another person said, his mind has been controlled by the bosses for so long that they issued just enough in his system to fully ruin his mind and had an effect on his whole way of thinking. It's what they put in their food, drink, and body that most people can't handle without professional care. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Terrence, Taraji, and Katt coming together to expose Diddy and Will's crimes? And do you really think Bryshere will one day come out to tell us what really happened? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.